Okay, it's live. So, first off, thank you everyone for coming today. This is the first time that I've actually spoken in this type of situation when I was not helping with a funeral, as I worked where my daughter worked for quite a long time at Martinson Funeral Home up in Sutton's Bay. So I've got a little bit of understanding about what's supposed to happen here. If you don't know me, my name's Tom Myers. I'm Travis's stepdad. Hopefully I can get through this. Travis was the most amazing human being that I think I ever knew. And I was extremely blessed having him in my life. I know all of you have memories of Travis. I really want to encourage you to not make this an ending, but to keep him alive in your hearts, especially all the things that he stood for. Almost everyone here has got a special memory of Travis. And we want you to experience that. Keep it with you. Share it with us today. Our time here is going to be inside anyway, relatively limited, and we have a luncheon outside afterwards. I opted not to put audio to the video that I made here. It's not playing right now, but only because each one of us has a portion of our memories that probably has something to do with music. Travis's favorites. When you leave here today, please, if it gives you joy or memories, please play them for yourselves. Maybe we should tell everybody to mute their phones if you haven't done that already. By the way, there is a bathroom behind me and I think one upstairs. So Travis would have probably told each and every one of us, as much as possible, not to grieve too long. This is a celebration of life. A celebration of who he was. I know that it's really hard to think of him not physically being with me in the future, but I've grown to understand in the past few days we just need to have a different way of having him in our lives. In the quiet times. For many of you, he will come to you when it's quiet. He'll put his arms around you and tell you that he's not gone. He just lives in a different place now. So, I'm going to use the present tense as I speak about him today. He is not gone. Only his physical presence. His spirit lives in each one of us. The memories of him, the amazing times, things that He's shown to us about Him and ourselves. He loved His family and He loved His children. He was ferociously loyal to all of us. This is every parent's worst nightmare, by far. Some here will have to endure something similar in their lifetimes. I'm sorry for that. The amount of care, compassion, empathy that this man had as his soul, his spirit, he's shown to every one of us. He wants you to know. Please celebrate his life by doing the same for others as he did for you. Travis had faults. Which one of us in this room does not? It's okay. The humanity that lived inside this man I know I'm blessed to have so many years with him, so many quiet conversations, when usually he was trying to comfort me or talk me down or tell me everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. If you choose to, any one of you will see him again. As I said, he lives in our hearts. He would want you to be able to give to others as he did to you in every way that's possible. Travis was always there for everyone, probably many of you. I know there's folks here that worked with him and, saw his kindness and compassion, friends, family, acquaintances. Everyone had their own memories of Travis. In a lot of ways, he was the best of all of us. We're all grieving in our own way. I'm absolutely amazed that I have any voice left after sobbing for 4 or 5 days straight, it seems like. I have all of you that have helped give us, me and all the rest, his father and mother, the strength to get through this. If you get a chance, please know that the embodiment, the physical embodiment of Travis lives in Jaden and his Jaden's brother and sister Xander and Zelda. So many times when we get in these places, we listen to someone talk about those that are not physically with us any longer and wonder, how would you know any of that? Travis asked me a long time ago if I would do this for him. And I honor him in every way that I possibly can. Taylor, I'm sorry for your loss. Everyone here is here for Travis and all of us. Please, one word that comes to mind just in almost every thought when I'm thinking about him is true empathy. He could always put himself above others and for their safety, security, happiness. He was always the big brother in the room, even when he was young. He's the one I always relied on to make it right. We worked on cars and boats, all sorts of things together, which I know many of you did as well with him. He loved that. He loved every one of you in his own way. It seems like I had so much more that I wanted to say, but we should at least let a couple others talk as well. Please, when you're out, and I hope you do come to the tent outside here for luncheon. Please share your stories about Travis. We have some memory cards here. Jot down your dearest memory. I know it's going to be trivial in as far as ability to write, because most of us would want to write a novel about him. But it is nice to be able to look back on this. And Valerie and Steve very much appreciate all of the love that you had for their son and my son. He is not gone. Just in another place. Can you talk? Understandably, these parents are grief-stricken in a way that I would never have wanted to be. Never still do want to be, but they prepared a little bit here to be able to talk about their feelings about Travis. There's no right and wrong today here. You ready? It's okay. Talking to the microphone.
Is this on? Can you hear me? Correct with it's on. This is my beautiful son. My best friend. And he was the best father. There's just no words that describe the emptiness that I feel. He wasn't just my son, he was my best friend. We'd talk every day. He hated when I worried about him. It was always, "Come on, Mom, I'm fine." But he was always calling me to see if I was fine. So it was back and forth all the time. I've been so proud of him, his work ethics, his drive, his care for his friends, his family he cherished all through his whole heart. He put everything in his whole heart. If everybody knows Travis, he was cooking you something. He loved to cook. He learned very young. He would bring me coffee in the morning when he was about 3, just so he could have a cup. He made his own sandwiches. He'd feed his sister. He'd decorate his sister. And he'd make his sister mad a lot, but he loved her. And his greatest legacy will always be his children, Jaden, Xander, Zelda, Leanie. No matter who they were, he would reach out, he would help, he would do everything he could to make somebody feel better. Well, he took the back end, and that was Travis. There's nothing he didn't. I knew everything about my son. There's nothing he hid. Good, bad, ugly, getting a ticket, calling me and letting me know he might go to jail. Lots of speeding tickets. But all he wanted to know is if it was a guy or a woman that he was going to talk to. If it was a woman, he said, "I'll be fine." And somehow he was. I don't know how he was. Oh my God, the stories, his friends, oh my God. I'm so honored to have every one of you guys. I always said I had a son, but I really had always 10, always. And you know I'm always going to be your mom out here. But his laughter, his memories, his sense of humor, it's just, I'll never forget. He's my beloved son. He's a piece of my heart it's going with me. But he's here. He remains here in everybody's heart. He's never going to be gone. I'm just going to miss his conversations, his smile, his messages. I just loved him so much. And until I hold him again, my sweet baby, he will always be my little punky winker bean. And he hated that. He made me promise not to tell his friends. But that was his nickname. He went to kindergarten and thought his name was Punky. So just celebrate him. He was so kind. He wanted peace in this world, and that's what he gave. He gave it every day of his life. And reading his Facebook and hearing stories, he's blessed so many people, and I can't even tell you how honored I have been to have that 38 years. I can be selfish, but they need him for something. And I think he's just looking after all of us now. Does anybody else want to talk, friends? Get some laughs in here a little bit? Because I know he's got stories. Come on, boys. Come on, boys.
Oh,
You can do it. You can do it. You. Come on, Eric.
Aaron, you're hiding in the back. Get up here, please.
Aaron, Josh.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to every single one of you that are here and experience life with a good man. As you can tell, he deserved every single bit of love and sadness that we're feeling right now. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing him to be a part of your lives. You got this, dude. You got this. We got you. Okay? Thank you, everybody. There's going to be some awful stories that we're going to avoid being honest in. But he deserved every bit of our love. He was one of the best men I've ever met, lived with, fought with, cried with. Thank you, everybody.
I actually planned on being up here by myself, but as usual, Travis's friends came up, and this is the effect that he had. I wrote a few words, if you can bear with me. Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Smith, and for those who don't know me, I had the privilege of meeting Travis in 8th grade. What began that year turned into a lifelong friendship. In middle school, I would have considered myself a little bit on the shy side, mostly quiet, kind of an outcast. Travis was the first person I remember that gave me the time of day. He made me feel included, made me feel like I had someone to talk to. I knew he always had my back. Travis has that way of bringing life into a conversation, making people laugh, and somehow making ordinary life experiences way more fun. He's the type of person who just leaves a lasting impression on you. Nearly 2 decades after we became friends, on the most important day of my life, Travis stood beside me as my best man. It was such an honor to have him there. He gave a speech that brought many to tears. One of the best speeches I've ever heard. I will hold on to those memories and cherish them forever. Over the last few days, I've probably looked at Travis's Facebook profile 100 times. I keep searching for more pictures, more memories, more pieces of him that I can hold on to, and I start to beat myself up, wishing I had checked in on him more or had done things differently throughout our friendship. I know that Travis and I had grown a little distant over the years. Life gets busy, you unintentionally get caught up in your own problems, and sometimes lose touch without even realizing it. But he never stopped reaching out. He never stopped checking in. That's the kind of person he was. I tried to do the same, but he was just better than me. Death has a way of reminding us just how precious and fragile life is. It makes you realize all the moments we often take for granted, the conversations, the laughter, the ordinary days together, that those are actually some of the most meaningful. What I would just give to sit down with him one more time and talk about simple life things, like how much he loves his kids, or how he's doing at his job, or anything that has 2 wheels. what I would give for one last hug. I lost my father when I was just 21, and there hasn't been a day that I haven't thought about him. I've learned that grief doesn't ever really disappear. You just learn how to carry it. You keep moving forward, and you just carry that incredibly heavy weight. I think the best way we can carry that weight is by continuing to live. To love deeply, to make memories, to laugh, to show up for the people that we care about, and to live a life that would make Travis proud. Because moving forward isn't forgetting him, it's honoring him by continuing to live the life he would have wanted for us all. Sorry. I could spend hours and hours up here telling you all the crazy, hilarious memories we shared, because let me tell you, there were countless. But I know other people have some things that they want to share. So with that, my prayer today is that my words can do justice for Travis's life, for his character, for our friendship, and for just how much he truly meant to me. He was my best friend. He was the brother I never had. And I will miss you for the rest of my life, Travis. I love you. Thank you.
I don't have anything prepared. I'm Brayton. I was really close with Travis through middle school when I moved to Traverse City. Didn't have a lot of friends. Met this great group, and they helped create the foundation of who I am. And just being with them, and a lot of us weren't home a lot. Usually at Travis's house. Thanks for all the food. But I'm just so thankful that he was such a close part of my life, and I haven't dealt with grief like this before. But it just shows how much we all truly loved him. As Eric mentioned, we've become a little distant with crazy lives, but it's a good lesson to learn. Just keep reaching out like Travis did. And just, I just love him a lot, and I'm going to really miss him.
I don't have anything. Just have to say thank God for antidepressants. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble right now. I met Travis when I was really young, and I feel like we grew up together, and he was just a part of my life. And we went through struggles together, and he was a brother, and I love him.
One thing I think we've touched on today is that Travis was a very kind person. He was willing to look out for all of us, teach us things that we wanted to learn any way he could help. Travis, during the time that I knew him, especially when we were younger, always had a lot of different vehicles, usually in some level of disrepair. This often required him to borrow Val's vehicles in order to get around. One of the things that she would ask in return is that Travis kind of kept hers in nice condition. So one day we had an opportunity to replace a wheel bearing in her car. Travis was like, "Josh, is this something you've done before?" I said, "No." And he's like, "Well, let's give it a try." So we pull the wheel off, we get into it. We're having a hard time getting the hub assembly off. And he's like, "All right," he's like, "give it one big pull." He's like, "I think you'll have it." So I pull really hard, it pops right off. And then we stare at each other because I didn't disconnect the ABS sensor and completely pulled the wire out of the new part. Out of the part there. So now we had his broken vehicle, Val's vehicle wasn't operative, and we needed to go get a new part so we could fix it. So I think, Aaron, you ultimately helped us get to the parts to go do it. Anyways, So ultimately got a new part and put it in, but through the whole time, I felt so awful that I had made this simple job something so much longer than so much longer than it needed to be, but he was so patient the whole time, and we laughed about that for a very long time. But it was just the kind of guy he was, to be kind and patient when he needed to, but also remind me how much of an idiot I was when I needed it. So, yeah.
All right, I'll talk. So, Travis was truly the glue that held all of us together. He's the glue that still holds us together to this day, right now. The whole crew, and there's many more out there. There's many more guys that would run through fire for him, just as he did for us. You know, Josh touched on just working on vehicles, and I could go, you know, as Eric said, you know, we grow distant, we have families, we might not talk for weeks or a couple months, and I'd call Travis and say, hey, like, how do you change this ball joint, you know? And he'd be like, hey, I got the tool, I'm coming over, I'm right there, you know, and he's there, and, you know, the next day or that day even, you know, helping you out, because it's just who he was, you know, always helping, always there for you. And he was one of the best beer pong partners I think I've ever had, you know. Many times, too many times, just saying. We love him, and yeah, on Val's furniture too. It's good. Anyways, we love him, and you know, we'll always keep him here.
Steve, I'm sorry about your S10.
If anybody else would like to come up and share, we still have some time. If not, that's fine. I think everybody knows. Do you want to talk? Absolutely.
My name is Anthony Sizeland. Travis is my cousin. Some of my fondest childhood memories. He was right there. Looks just like you. Looks just like him. From our days at his old childhood house, which I actually just visited the day I found out, to all of our fishing spots, just everything that we've done together. When I think of my childhood, I always think of him. There was a little bit of a gap in between middle school, high school, but every time we called each other, it was like we were right back there again. He will be very missed. Loved him very dearly. And I wish I had more to say, but I didn't prepare anything. But I love you all. I'm very sorry.
Very good, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Travis's dad, and I will do everything I can to try to not bawl into this microphone. First thing I'd like to say is Tom stole all my words, but that's good. I love Tom. I've been telling Tom he's been the rock to this whole thing. I mean, I'm usually the rock. I've always been the rock, but I'm just not right now. Obviously, my heart is broken beyond repair. I can think of one word to describe my son, just one word, and I'm sure you'll all agree, is selfless. He was selfless, which the definition of that word is you're more concerned for other people's wishes and their needs than you are your own. Is that not Travis? That's Travis. There's just not a better word. Selfless. Absolutely selfless. I remember once in grade school, he got in trouble. I had to talk to the principal. And he was playing with this little boy that everybody was being mean to him. He was kind of special needs. And again, there's Travis. He was playing with him because nobody else would play with this little boy. So Travis would play with them and spend time with them, and then all these kids, of course, were teasing Travis and teasing this kid, and of course my son knocked him down. So, attaboy, Travis. So he was expelled for that, and I had to talk to the principal, and then we started fighting on the phone, and I wanted to go knock him down, but that's just my son. That's what he did. He stood up for himself. He helped others. Like Tom said, he was very unselfish. It's just, did he ever do anything for himself? It's like he always did it for somebody else. He would always help someone, and you know what he expected in return? Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Zilch. That's just the way he was, And he was like that ever since he was a little boy. Val and I can't take credit for teaching him that. That was all him. He had that, and he was like that his whole life. And I was very blessed. An opportunity came up. I'm a service manager at Sarah, and I was given an opportunity to hire him as a service advisor in my lane and right service. And I mean, when it was brought up to me, and we talked about it with my other manager and good friend, Carl Lyons. We talked about this, and I wasn't completely honest with everybody about Travis. I'm thinking the whole time selfishly, oh my God, I get to work with my son. I'm so excited. But I didn't tell the owners that. So if Jerry, you're still here, you didn't hear this, okay? So I mean, I was really, that was it. I mean, I knew he'd do a good job, but he didn't do a good job. He did off the charts job. I mean, he was there for a few months. He was promoted from the position he was in all the way up into a management position in just a few months. That is impossible, and he did it. And he earned it. Some people tried to say, good job, Steve. I'm like, whoa, no. I just got him a job. Everything after that was all him. Me being there for 20 plus years means nothing. He earned that. Everything he did. Customers loved him. Surveys would come back. This was the nicest young man I've ever dealt with. He was so helpful. That's Travis. I mean, you can't fake that. That's who he was. He's always been like that. And I'm going to miss him so much. And I know all you guys are. Everybody that knew Travis is just really going to miss him. And this emptiness inside will probably never go away. Somebody said it's grief that you're going to carry, and I think it was Eric. You're going to have to carry this. It's just going to be here. It'll never be filled. But I love my son, and I miss my son, and I see him sitting right there in that chair, right there in that face. There he is, And I've got him, and I've got Xander and Zelda. I've got lots of memories. And he was loved very much, and I'm going to have a nice urn of him at home, so he's in my house every single day, and that's all I had. I'm sorry, I didn't prepare anything. So, thank you.
I think everybody understands that this is an extraordinary person. And that, again, the absence of his physical self will be felt forever. But he really, truly wants us to know that he is not gone from our lives. Please know that. Please exercise the understanding and the awareness that was what Travis was. He loved. He did things for everyone else, just as everyone has said. He never expected anything in return. We can all aspire to be like Travis. It's a sad day, but we want to celebrate his life. We'll all get through today, hopefully, tomorrow, and long into the future. I know I will see him again. We knew this wasn't going to be a day like a normal commemoration of this type of life, but we wanted it to be from the heart. We want all of you to share in fellowship. Think of him in whatever belief system that you have for yourselves. It was intentional on my part to not have it follow any sort of typical ceremony of this type. So I'm hoping that we can all come away with a great memory of Travis. You've seen and heard what he meant to all these people. Do any of his sisters want to speak? If you do, you're welcome to. If not, that's fine as well. I understand. We'll be playing a memorial video that I put together. Val and I do something on this same order for our normal everyday jobs when we're not out in the disaster areas helping folks get through moments sometimes just like this. Please keep them in your hearts. He loved you all. Thank you. I think we can visit, and then I believe around noon we'll step outside, and there's some food out there, so please help yourself. Thank you very much.